Hey, this is Metal Mike and welcome to the new Metal for Life column. I am going to show you a bunch of wild heavy metal licks, and I am calling this one the Sentinel because we are here to defend the faith. Okay, so this riff is basically an Aeolian, and you have some standard Aeolian shapes, and I flip around the rhythms in them around, so in order to make it a little more interesting to listen to. Okay, so let me show you what I'm doing here. So I hit the first string with down pick, the first note on the top string, and I pull off. And this same exact thing happens on string 1, the E, and the B string. And you just have a little rhythmic variation to this. So check this out. This is how it goes. It almost sounds like a old rock riff, really, but when you speed it up and play it a little more pick attack, it sounds a little bit more metal. And you move up the same exact thing, except you start on fret 7. If you want, with your right hand, you could just use the down pick. It's all downstroke. You don't have to think about it. It's just downstroke on the note and pull off to the other one. I finished this 3-note little 3-section part between the frets 12 and 8. This is where the most interesting part of the lick sound-wise is to me. Because you have a wide interval in there, so it sounds a little more spacey. After you're done with this part, I do a basic 2-note per string pull-off section, and it goes like this. So it sounds, because of their somewhat wide intervals, you got a cool sound. All right, guys, the next lick is a cool triplet-based lick. It's something actually reminiscent of John Petrucci that you would hear him play on some Dream Theater guitar solos. And I really like this lick because it starts in one part of the neck and travels, in this case, down the neck. And I think of a lick like this as a great connector. And this is my term for it. But you have certain ideas that lay out on your guitar neck that connects parts of the neck together for your solos. So this is an amazing lick to connect different parts of your fretboard. All right, check this out. Okay, let me show you what I'm doing here. One thing to keep in mind is the right hand articulation with the pick. I'm sure a lot of you guys might have questions of how exactly I am picking this guitar phrase. So before I show you the example, it's down, up, up, right? So it's almost like a rake, down, up, down, up, up. And that's the pattern. This allows you to move from the top string to the second string in almost like a sweep motion, which gives this lick like a nice fluid sound, right? This is not really designed to be alternate picked. All right, this is how the notes go. It's pretty melodic in its own sense, and it sounds even cooler when you move it down in a particular pattern. And after I play the 3, I go up to one of the shapes I skipped. Right? So it's really cool because again, all the stuff that we talk about in Metal for Life, there are licks that they're not the most intensely crazy licks to play, but we get a lot of mileage out of it. And this is what we want to do. You want to learn a few things on the guitar and get the most use out of them. So this is a perfect example of a lick like that. Okay, so the cool thing about this lick is that the first note on the B string is actually an upbeat. And when you hit your first note on the high E string with the up pick, that's actually the downbeat. And when you hit it with the upstroke, it's got a nice snap to the string. And this is really, this and countless other licks, there's always a little secret why they sound good. And believe it or not, most of the secrets lie in your right hand of how you execute it. I really love this lick because it shows us a lot of things about metal guitar playing. It's something that actually feels really good to guitar players. So as you guys play this riff, try to get it to the point where the lick actually feels really good to you physically when you play it. And that's when you get it. When you get a lick to that type of level of playing, it's when you're really starting to apply and mastering some of the techniques, right? So it's definitely worth the effort. Okay, for this next example, I took the same idea in triplets and expanded a little bit more to make the lick a little bit longer and more complicated. Check this out. All right, so let me show you what I'm doing here. The shapes are basically the same as from the previous example, but they change slightly in the order. Same picking for the right hand. It's down, up, down, up, down. And that picking pattern stays exactly the same for the whole lick. So let me show you the patterns on the top 2 strings. Right, so it's a very fluid, it's almost like a pattern of 4. You skip one of them, you go back to the pattern, you do next 4, you skip one in between, go to the pattern, go 4, one more time with the same thing, and you end up here on the E note, and you top off the lick in the A. All right, so the cool thing about this lick is that, you have a pickup note, and then you have the up pick on the official downbeat. That shift right there, that slide, that's your pickup note, up, down. So it's got this cool sound to it. So that shift is like your pickup, and then you get to use your upstroke to do the first note. So that's an interesting thing that this lick has.